Gordon, it's great to be talking to you today. And you've got a chapter in this book, and it's about cutting the cord, which is about the time when a boy leaves his mother and moves across to manhood and is called out. And of course, many times that doesn't happen in today's society because we've lost our way in that regard. Mothers are very important for children. Mothers are very important for daughters. Mothers are very important for sons. But there's a time, especially for a boy, when he needs to hear his father's voice calling him out. Is that correct? Tell us about this chapter.
Absolutely. Well, now you see, in the U.S., I'm not that well versed in Australian figures and culturally here, but in the U.S., almost 50% of boys today are not being raised in a home where their blood father lives. Okay?
Biological father, natural father.
Right. So I remember reading an article one time where in a lot of gangs in the cities of the U.S., and one of the mothers of a gang member was lamenting, "I don't understand, why does my boy go off to be the gang?" She says, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I go to church, I'm clean, I keep a nice home for him, I wash his clothes for him, and he goes off the gangs. I don't understand it. And all through this article, all these mothers are commiserating, why? And nobody once says, hello, this is a male child. He doesn't, after a certain point, he's not, he can't get what he needs desperately from a woman. He needs it from a man, a company of men. When I do radio shows, a lot of times the producer will come to me ahead of time and they'll say, "Now look, this is a call-in show, so we want to get lots of callers." No worries, mate. I know just what to do. What? Don't worry. Just start with the interview. At some point in the interview, I say, "You know something? There's no woman alive can bring a boy into manhood. I don't care how godly, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, reverent, whatever. No woman can bring a boy into manhood." Boom, the lights are coming on and the producer's pulling his hair out. Who's calling in? It's the moms. "You say I'm a bad mother. Listen here, Gordon, hold on a second. Rewind that tape. I never said you're a bad mom." And I will say to hundreds of thousands of listeners right now, you are the good mother, the best mother this boy could ever have. What I will say publicly as well is you're not his father. But you see, the culture doesn't want to deal with that.
No. They want to sweep that under the carpet, don't
absolutely.
They want to actually make gender, we're all androgynous, and male and female don't matter. To be a man doesn't matter. To be a woman doesn't matter. But you know something, to children it matters a real lot.
It matters tremendously. There's things that a boy can only get from a man. And women suffer if a boy doesn't get it. That's what they haven't understood in the women's movement, that if a boy doesn't get it from his father, he's not going to be happy around women because he's going to feel inadequate around a woman and he'll be angry at her because she's going to find that out.
We've done a lot of studies in this area of fatherlessness, and I think 80% of young men that rape women are fatherless.
Yeah.
I think 71% I think of young juveniles in jail are fatherlessness, and so there's a terrible fallout when there's not the man to call forth the boy as he's coming of age, 12, 13 years of age.
Yeah, and the great temptation is, you know, the model I have, kind of this masculine feminine, it's kind of a dodgy place to be in our culture today, but in the U.S. we have, in our history, we have what we call the wagon trains to settle the Western U.S. And they would start out in a straight line, which is a masculine image. We have a goal, we have a place we need to get to, okay? And that's important. But you can't just stay in a straight line because when nightfall comes, animals come out, the bears, the lions come out, so you need to circle up. And that's a feminine image where you put new shoes on the horses, you sing songs, you sew up the clothing and stuff, and you get close and you build community and there's relationship. But if you just stay in that circle, you don't get where you're going.
That's correct.
So at some point in the morning, some dude, you got to get out there and blow the trumpet, then we go back in the straight line again, back in the circle. So you've got to have that balance. But what happens if a boy doesn't have the straight line, there's no father to call him out, he stays in that circle of mom's sphere of influence, and he starves. He starves, and he knows he needs something more. He doesn't know where to get it because he can't get real enough because it's too painful to face. So he starts. I've had women say, he's going to hit me, he's threatening to hit me. I said, it's not you he's angry about, but you better do something now to get what he's really angry about. He's angry at his dad, and you're the only one present. So you're going to be the lightning rod to catch it.
Yeah.
You need to get him in touch with other men to connect. Oh, but I'm his mother, I can give him what he needs. No, you can't. And please don't come to me next week with a bloody nose from your son telling me, you know, I wish I'd have heard you last week, Gordon. Because I'm just being real. That's what I hear from women. One woman came to me, her 10-year-old son comes home drunk at night, throws up on the carpet. Why, what's wrong? I said, well, where's his father? Oh, his father was a no-good drunk. He died years ago, overdosed on drugs. What do you tell this 10-year-old boy when he comes home drunk at night? I tell him, you're just like your father. What?
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't
Exactly. I said, look, that's a male child. He longs to be like his daddy. His daddy is dead. He's not present. He's got nothing visual to connect with. The only thing he's got to connect with his father is what you tell him. You're telling him your daddy was a drunk. The next question of mine is, where's the nearest liquor store? I'm there. I said, you've got to give him something positive about
Words
his
are very
father.
powerful, aren't they? Words are very powerful, and they can both bring healing and also great destruction.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I tell, well, but you don't know how bad that man was. I don't, but I know Jesus died for that man. There's something good about him, and for your good of if you love your son, you're going to find something good in your memory about that man and tell your son about it to bond with. But you see, it's just so hard. And I know my wife's a wonderful mother with our son, and I remember when I had to have a talk with her about coming into the bedroom with him when he was about 3 or 4 years old with her nightgown and stuff. I waited till the right time when I felt it was right. Say, honey, you know, I think you really need to start putting on a bathrobe when you come in here like this. Oh, but no, honey, please help me. I need to understand that this is a boy now. We really need to, you know, establish some boundaries here like that. Trust me, you're going to have to trust me on this and things. And I remember one time he was playing with his truck. I got him some nice little trucks like that. You know, he was playing with his trucks and he was smashing them. He had these chutes he'd made up where they'd smash. Oh, it was wonderful stuff. And I was sitting out in the other room. I heard him smashing, and all of a sudden I heard my wife coming in the room. What are you doing with your beautiful new trucks? Oh, I'm just playing with them, Mommy. Stop that. You shouldn't be smashing your trucks. These are brand new trucks. Whoa! I walked in. Excuse me, son, just a minute. I need to talk with Mom. Honey, could we just please talk? Gwen, shut the door, honey. Whew, Jesus, help. Look, honey, I know this may not sound right to you, or understandable, but look.
He's got to do it.
With boys, trucks are for crashing. You know, I know you don't understand, you don't like it, but that's the way boys do with trucks. Now, you got to let him crash his truck. But they're brand new trucks. Oh, they're even better to crash the new ones. I said, you know, and she said, I said, Danny, I'm not asking you to understand it. I'm asking you to receive this from his father as a man. Let him crash his trucks. All right, and praise God, she was able to do that, you know. But after he went on crashing his trucks, and I had to get in there and I had to say, I want you to go in there and crash a truck or do something to show him that you're not judging him for he's being a man. He's being a boy. He's being masculine, crashing his truck, and you've cursed his masculinity like that.
John Eldridge, what's his book, Wild at Heart, and of course Robert Bly's book, you know, Iron John. A man is looking for his masculinity, and of course there's an aspect of danger, and there's an aspect of defining it and finding it for himself, and then, of course, directing that masculinity in a positive and wonderful way. Again, just wrapping this session up here, in a few sentences, how could we put these thoughts together about what we're talking about?
Yeah, I think it's essential to catch when I look back on that story about the trucks was, what if I hadn't been there? And the only input he had was from the woman. It's wrong to crash trucks. Translation to a boy, it's wrong to be a boy. That would be the takeaway for him. And when he grows up, he's not going to be very happy around women. He's going to be very angry at women. It's like that. So mothers can do so much to bless their sons. I tell Mary, you know, tell John Miguel that, teach him about girls, about how girls respond to men. I'll tell him about sexuality, men. But you tell him how what girls like and don't like in boys, and encourage him when he's being a man that women will respect and stuff like that. But a boy has to break away from his mom and join to the man in order to feel like a man. We don't have that in our culture. Most of our fathers are emotionally distant or physically distant. The gangs become an alternative, whatever like that. We have to start getting together in groups. I have a chapter in the book called The Wolf Loves the Lone Sheep. My boy, when we came to Australia, said, Dad, you can't say that. There's no wolves in Australia. So we changed it to The Dingo Loves the Lone Sheep, okay? But, you know, you got to start bonding with other men so we can get what we never got from our fathers and become the men we're called to be.
That is fantastic. We really appreciate your time today, Gordon. That's really great.
Thanks. My pleasure.